Hey, what's up, you guys? Shadow Mysterious here. Usually I post my Q&As that I'm doing on Facebook live stream, but I've noticed that a lot of you can't find my videos, so I'm posting them on YouTube now so they're easier to find, so you don't have to go through all the live news feed on Facebook and finally find my Q&A video that you can all laugh at and everything, because some of you have some really weird friends that like to post everything about their life of, oh, I'm taking a poop now, or hey, I'm walking my dog, or hey, I just drove my car into a field. Yes, there are some people like that. They like to post everything. So, as always, when I start my videos, I always say, y'all need therapy, and after I read the questions and what you sent in, you're going to need therapy. So let's get started. Question number one. Have you ever been in a real fight? Well, see, what I classify as a real fight is something worth fighting for. Now, if it's just something of, oh, I hate your guts, I want to fight you, I don't classify that as a real fight, because the person just mad at you, they don't like you, big deal, whatever. So that's not a classification of a real fight. That's just some bitch throwing a hissy fit. That's not a real fight. A real fight is something worth defending. Somebody came up and slapped your girl's ass. So you go and grab them by the shoulder, turn around, and clock them. Well, that's a real fight, because you're fighting for something. So, yes, I have been in those. I have both received an ass kicking and gave an ass kicking. I know I may look like a big guy, but I can get an ass kicking too. So the answer to that is yes, I have been in a real fight. Question two. What is the worst song you have ever heard? The answer to that would be the song Whippin' Nene. There's no sense in that song at all. So whenever I hear that song, I just want to rip my radio out of my car, or rip my phone in half, however you can do that, or just break it, or I want to break the radio. That's all there is to it. I want to break the radio, because that song is so ridiculous. It's my parody to that. Every time I hear Whippin' Nene, I say, oh hell no, not today day. So it's the most annoying song ever. I don't know why they came up with it. They thought it might be funny, but who knows? Who cares? Question three. What is the most annoying girl you've met? Well, I was going to say Miley Cyrus. I don't like her. She's annoying. There's also Taylor Swift. I don't like her either. She's annoying. But no, the most annoying girl that I've met would be, there's this girl that comes out to wrestling practice. She's only 12 years old, and she tried to get with some of us older people. Now, I've tried talking sense to this girl, and there literally is no talking sense to her. Maybe she'll get a shout out in this video. I don't even know her name. I just know she's annoying. And she is the most annoying girl I've ever met. Literally. I don't know what her issue is. But 12 years old, trying to mess with people over 19, 20 years old, and it's like, no, we're not serving jail time for you. You are annoying and you're pestering us, leave us alone. So that's the most annoying girl I've ever met, because she acts older than what she is, and it just not cool. Don't do that. And, give your opinions on it if you think it's not right. I want to hear from you guys. Number four, worst meme you've ever read. That could be a lot of them, because some of them, they don't even stick to the topic of what they're trying to put out. I've never really actually read a bad meme. Most of the ones that are made are really good. Um, but there's this one that I've read where it shows a cat looking across the dinner table and says, "Are you shitting me?" What the hell is the cat doing at the table in the first place? And secondly, why would a cat be shitting you? Unless it's in a litter box, it has no place at the table. So that doesn't make sense to me. So, I don't know. Next question on that. Funniest prank you've pulled? I pulled a lot of them, and there's this one that I pulled where I went and thought my uncle, who was staying with me and my dad, has brought his girlfriend into my room and performed in intercourse. Well, he slept on our couch. Well, just to trick him, I went into the bathroom while he was at work, grabbed some hair gel and baby powder. I mixed it together. I put it in the blanket that he slept on. When he got home, he, always wants to go to bed because he works late. He goes to curl up in his blanket, and he thought he had jizz all over his blanket. It was funny to see him freak out and get really upset over a prank. I explained it to him. He still thought it was a real thing. So I played it out for a while and just went along with it. He finally figured it out. Worst video you seen? God, there's so many videos I've seen that are so bad. The worst one I've ever seen is, and it hurt me so bad inside. This guy went and was shoveling wood chips. The only thing I could imagine it would be. And he went to go to take a break and he put the shovel down. Well, the shovel was in between his legs. And his buddy came up, took a log, and threw it on the end of the shovel to where the stick of the shovel came up and cracked him in the nuts to where he was throwing out blood. I heard on the inside. I feel so bad for that guy that got cracked in the nuts by the handle of a shovel. I mean, that had to hurt. God, that's just horrible. So I'm going to move on because now my insides are hurting again. Number 7, do pineapples go on a pizza? They do. They do. There's Hawaiian pizza, and I love Hawaiian pizza. I love pineapples on pizza, especially if you have, the Hawaiian pizza with the ham and the pineapple. You put a little bit of chicken on there, and instead of using pizza sauce, you use ranch sauce or barbecue sauce. Oh, it's the greatest. I love it. So don't judge me because I love pineapples on pizza. Your opinion on the Dr. Phil girl? I imagine the one that's been like getting her own videos and like has her own reality TV show now, which is, I gotta ask something. Why would you give somebody like that privileges? I mean, she's acting up. She admitted in the video on Dr. Phil that she smokes weed and steals cars. Why? Who in the right mind would say, that's the girl we want? Instead of punishing her, we're going to reward her. No, you don't do that. She needs to go on punishment for what she did. Simple as that. And you're just wanting it to go on? She's not learning from that. She's thinking that her stupid actions deserve stupid rewards, and that's what she's getting. If that's the case, I should have been rewarded a long time ago for all the stupid things I've done. Where's my sitcom, Dr. Phil? Number 9. Do you play Pokemon Go? Uh, who has not played that game? I still play that game to this day, and it's been like a year old. I really have no other games on my phone besides that game. I love playing that game. It gets me out, gets me walking. The creators of it were so damn smart. Now, if only they could fix the issue with your battery draining so fast and how you can't play music while you're sitting there playing it. If they fix that problem, best game ever by far. And fix the tracker thing because let's face it, who doesn't use the tracker? And I'm not talking about the big lawsuit they had with the one website that let you find all the Pokemon. I'm talking about the tracker that will tell you how far you have to go to find the Pokemon. Like when they first started out, they had a tracker. It showed you how many feet you were away from the Pokemon. At least let us have some form of location on that. Instead of going and posting on there, hey, your Pokemon is in this location because you visited this location before. Yeah, I can understand if it's around a Pokestop, but where the hell is it out in the wild? At least give me some form of clue. That's all I'm asking. I mean, I will walk to get it, but give me another clue besides just saying, hey, it's over near a Pokestop. I go near Pokestops all the time, and it's not there. Tell me where it is. At least, give me some form of clue where I can sit there and have to click on the map to find something, and then, when I go and tap on the map, like some grass starts stirring up or something, so I know what direction to go in. That's the only thing wrong with that game that I found is the battery and the tracker. That's it. I guess you don't really get much out of the Pokestops anymore. They need to fix that too. Like, put some egg hatching stuff in there, do something like that. And I don't see why I can't like go anywhere when I'm a passenger in a car. Just because the car is going so fast, okay, I can ride my bike and go too fast. Okay, that's just ridiculous because in the Pokemon Blue and Red, you could ride bikes and still get Pokemon. So it doesn't make sense. I can understand the car thing to an extent. If you're going 55, you can't exactly go and catch Pokemon. But if you're riding a bike and only going, 10, 15 miles an hour, and the thing says you're going too fast. How in the world am I going too fast? You can ride bikes in Pokemon Red and Blue. From the very beginning, you can still catch Pokemon. I'm not going that fast. Come on. Number 10. Did the chicken or the egg come first? I believe it was the cock that came first. And by cock, I mean rooster. Okay? We're just going to say that. I'm going to make sure that you all know that the cock is the rooster. So I believe that the rooster came first on the egg after the chicken laid it. So which one came first? Well, I imagine the chicken would because, let's face it, that's going to be one pissed off chicken if the rooster came first. If you get what I'm saying. Okay, so number 11. What is your favorite scary movie? Am I supposed to say that in that creepy voice that they do in Scream? Where it's like, what's your favorite scary movie? Okay, well, I can't do it right, but yeah. My favorite scary movie would be Hellraiser. I've always been a fan of that guy. The whole idea behind the box and the chains coming out of nowhere, ripping into the people's chest, ripping them in half. I loved it. I'm surprised that in Freddy vs. Jason, when they were fighting on the water, because they were both in hell, so it makes sense for Hellraiser to come out, but he never did, and it disappointed me. Why not add Hellraiser to it? I mean, you can still let Jason win, but at least have Hellraiser come out and just fight him too. That would have made more sense. So I don't know why that didn't happen, but it didn't happen. Okay, so number 12. What is your favorite temple in Zelda Ocarina of Time? And I know you're all going to hate me for this, But I'm gonna say the water temple. The water temple is my favorite temple. God, that's hot. Anyway, my favorite temple is the water temple. Yeah, there you go. In Zelda Ocarina of Time, the water temple is definitely the. And why is it the water temple? Because there are so many things that you can do with the water temple. And it's just so challenging that it's fun. And that's why I like the water temple. I know a lot of you will probably argue with me that the water temple is probably the trickiest and the dumbest, but it makes sense in the game. What song would you dedicate to a girl? If you've been with her for a while, then my suggestion for that would be to use. There's this band called STRIA. They have a song called Alive, and it just the whole song is great. You need to really listen to that song. It just makes great lyrics to a relationship. Number 14. Worst accident you've been in. It involved a skateboard. I was trying to grind a rail, and I've done it so many times before that, I was just showing off to friends, and I went to grind the rail, and I had the board planted just perfectly on it. Well, the board was weakened, and the rail was up pretty high, so the board snapped, and when it snapped, I split my nuts, and it hurt very badly, and that was the worst accident I've been in. Had to go to the hospital, all that. 15. Why are guys so stupid? That's simple. It's because, well, it's simply because women get to where they're smart. So we have to be stupid to give the illusion that we're stupid. And so we have to make them look smart. I guess that's the answer that you're looking for. I'm not sure, but that's my answer for it. So I'm going to move on because I don't want to get into that topic too much. Number 16. Do you lick it, then stick it? Yes, I do. And then another thing that I say with that, if you're going to ask me a question like that, I'm asking you a question. Do you suck it before you fuck it? Simple as that. It goes both ways, I guess. So, yeah. Anyway. What is your favorite sex position? I like tying them up. That's the best way. Tie them up and then just go from there. I like 50 Shades of Grey on that stuff. Number 18. Do you sleep with the lights on? Yes, because I'm scared of the dark. I will even go and make sure the light is on when I sleep because I don't like sleeping in the dark. Because there's just okay, say you're sleeping and you hear a noise and it's dark. You just woke up. You want to know what that noise is, so you want to sleep with the lights on. And if you have the lights on and you hear a noise, you're going to know where it's at. But if you're sleeping with the lights off and you just woke up, you're not going to know where anything is. So it just makes sense to go and sleep with the lights on. What happened with Icy Hot? Well, in my one of my live videos, I tricked somebody into using Icy Hot for their tender parts, and after our little match for this here, I went and had Icy Hot handy, and they were saying that their nuts hurt because of all the moves that they done. So I go and tell them, well, just use Icy Hot. It'll just, it'll make everything better. And I thought they were talking about their backs hurting. Well, they applied it to their nuts. And because they done that, I didn't have to defend this because they were too busy rolling on the floor, grabbing themselves, saying, it burns, it burns. Then later on, it turned cold. Well, that's what Icy Hot does. It turns cold, and then it turns hot. Or it'll turn hot, then it'll turn cold. So, your choice on what you want to do there, but I didn't suggest them doing it. They just did it. And they put it on their tender parts, which made them roll around on the floor. And so I didn't have to defend this, which this right here, as you can tell, is the Anytime Championship, meaning you can defend it anytime, any place, anywhere. And if you go on to EWF, you can watch some of those matches where they defended it anytime, any place, anywhere. What is the worst insult you used on a girl? That was when I was a senior in high school. This girl just would not leave me alone. And by not leaving me alone, I mean she would constantly try to insult me. And, being a senior in high school, you just want to get through school. You just want to get it done and over with. Well, this girl thought it'd be funny to keep trying to pick on me. So one day, I'm walking through the halls, she trying to pick on me, and I went and asked my friend for a nickel, and I walked up to her, handed her the nickel, and said, I know this is overpaying you for last night, but here's the money that I owed you, and I expect my 3 cents back. And her jaw just about hit the floor because, it basically calling her a whore, and a cheap one at that. So basically I was calling her a 2-cent whore. And with that, just trouble followed, and it wasn't at all pretty after that. So I don't advise people doing that, but hey, it gets people to leave you alone. So if you have to use it, use it. Walk up to a girl and just hand them a nickel and say, here's for last night, but I would like my 3 cents back. And that's the worst insult I used on a girl. So that's wrapping up the questions. I only picked 20 out of the many that you sent me, because I didn't want to make that long of a video. So my question for you guys is, what is the worst accident that you have been in? I don't want to hear about the whole car crash thing, because that's just sad, and I'm sorry for you. But maybe you were riding your bike, your dad just finally took off the training wheels to your bike, and you're riding along thinking you're doing really great, and you forget how to use the brakes. And because you forget how to use the brakes, you wreck into a mailbox or a tree or a ditch or something that I've done. So I advise not doing that. But so I'm just asking everyone out there, what is the worst accident that you have been in? You can tell me all of the accidents that you've been in. Maybe you got stung by a bee and you ran around your house naked. That might have been the worst accident you've been in. I'm not bringing that up, though, because that was horrifying. I didn't know if I was allergic to bees, and that's just how that went. But the question for my next Q&A is, I want questions about video games. If you have any questions about any type of video games, preferably the older games, like something that was for Atari or NES, Super Nintendo, Sega, whatever you want to add in there. I've pretty much played them all except for a lot of the newer releases. So I'm not going to know many about that. I'd have to do some research on it if you ask me some of the newer stuff. But anything about older stuff, if you want to ask me, I probably played it. So ask away. And so that wraps it up. Like I said, just pop those questions around, and on my next Q&A, I'll be sure to answer them. And like I always say, you all need therapy. You really need therapy. Go get help. Go on. Stop watching this video. Go get help. I don't see you going. So maybe my next Q&A will make you want therapy. So that's all the time I have, and thanks for watching.